So we have a very interesting session lined up. Our next session of the Indus Conclave. This is a session presented by SAP in partnership with Fujitsu, IBM, Concur, Hewlett-Packard Enterprises and Redington, WeCentric, SAP Ariba, Micromax and Zebra Technologies. The question we're asking in this session is, what does a CFO expect from a CIO? We have the perfect gentleman with us who will be answering this question. He is none other than Mr. Brij Bhushan Nagpal, Executive Director, Finance and Corporate Affairs, Luminous Power Technologies. I'd like to tell you, ladies and gentlemen, that Mr. Brij Nagpal is a well-respected corporate finance professional with over 30 years of experience in company management, corporate affairs, corporate finance, financial and business controls, legal affairs, and corporate governance. I'd also like to stress here that out of these 30 years, 20 years has been at the board level. Mr. Nagpal is a director on the board of Luminous and is also the CFO of the company. So to tell us what does a CFO expect from a CIO, it's my privilege to welcome to the stage Mr. Brij Bhushan Nagpal. Welcome, sir. Let's have a round of applause, ladies and gentlemen.
Very much for such a elaborate introduction. Actually, I'm a very simple, business-oriented CFO, and I talk business language. So, that's the brief introduction. So, good morning, ladies and gentlemen. It's nice to have this session immediately after the coffee break. Everybody is, attentive to attend to whatever I little say. So, at the same time, it's a very tough topic that I have set out to me. Writing down or presenting a wish list in front of a galaxy of CIOs. Means I think I run the risk of getting caught outside the hotel and, Thank you. So that's where we are. So, just a small disclaimer that whatever little discussions I have in front of you or the views that I express, they are my personal views and it has not much to do with my organization. Nonetheless, just to give you a brief introduction about my company, it's a very normal sized Indian entrepreneur or Indian enterprise. And as I always call it, we are a global Desi company. So, though we are a subsidiary of Schneider International of France, Schneider is a 25 billion euro enterprise across the world. We are one of their in Indian subsidiaries, representing the retail business of the Schneider in India. We have approximately 6,000 employees working for us, which is, kind of white-collared and blue-collared, a mix of it. The best part is that we are a kind of a retail organization. So we have a setup of approximately 150 connected locations across the country, products coming out of 7 locations, and to be distributed to approximately 1,600 plus distributors every month, from where we have the retail sale going to around 60,000 channels. So truly speaking, we cannot survive without an active support of IT. That's how I believe, and I'm a firm believer of that. Coming to the subject, maybe I'll start it this way, that before putting in the expectations in front of a CIO, it is important for me to express you, or maybe one to express that what are the roles and responsibilities, or how the role of a CFO is changing. It is only from there that we would be able to determine as to what are the expectations a CFO should have from a CIO. So I will say that the role of a CFO in the last 5 to 7 years has undergone a severe or a very serious transformation. See, gone are the days when the CFOs were only the bean counters or the preparation of the numbers. And fortunately or unfortunately, I represent that, that branch or that age bracket of the CFOs or that generation of the CFOs who have undergone the entire transformation or who have faced the entire transformation of liberalization in this country. I was heading the finance function when the country was getting liberalized in mid-90s. And, even today I'm representing the business and the finance function in 2015, when we have the fully liberalized and the open economy and, highly competitive environment. So things have drastically changed from those times to these times. So the roles of CFOs have also changed significantly from that time to this time. And also, that is one thing. And the second most important thing is that the digitization has also changed the business enterprises or the way we do business. Maybe 5 years ago, if a CFO has to think about having an enterprise or having a business, it was very difficult to imagine for him, or if not 5, say 7, 8 years ago, it was very difficult for him to imagine of a business enterprise without having any assets. And today, if you look at companies like Uber and Ola and Airbnb and Oyo and so many others, there's a full business which doesn't have any fixed assets. So the credit goes to the galaxy of people sitting in this room and many others for creating such kind of business enterprises. And when that kind of a transformation happens, the roles and responsibilities also change and the expectations also change. So with this brief introduction, what I'm trying to say is that the role or the responsibility of a CFO is no more the traditional finance and accounting functions. It has moved into a full-fledged business partnering and value architect and a strategic advisor role. There used to be a situation when most of the companies, the CFOs used to do like 10th of the month or 12th of the month, a lot of running around and finalizing the numbers for the month, and the P&L is being finalized and the balance sheet is being finalized. Fine, there were good companies who were doing by the 2nd or the 3rd of the month, but there was a vast majority where they should be or they were working on those kind of timelines. But today the time has come. On 12th of the month or 10th of the month, you don't need the P&L of the previous month. You need the expected P&L of the current month. Now, if a CFO has to perform those kind of roles and responsibilities, he cannot survive without an active support of the good business intelligence tools and an excellent IT support within the organization. And just to give you a small example, even today morning while I was in the car from my house to this place, I had to give my this month's number and the profitability. So that's how things work. So truly speaking, a situation where the role of a CFO used to be number crunching, it has transformed into a business leadership role. And at the same time, the IT function or the CIO supporting the CFO or supporting the organization, their role has also changed from the basic data generation and storage in the primitive times to real meaningful data, which is business-driven information and a support for taking decisions in the business. So truly speaking, the future of finance, I always say that CFO is the architect of business value, and for that purpose, he has to mainly depend upon two important things. One is the digital finance for improved decision making, improved support, and second, zero-based budgeting. While the second topic is not applicable to the current discussion or today's discussion, but the first one is the most important pillar and it is required to be discussed. So I'll be focusing myself on the first and not the second. So truly what I'm saying, that a CFO of today has to have 5 important qualities or 5 important prerequisites for him to be a successful CFO. One, he has to align his strategy with the company, with the CEO. It cannot be that the times are gone when the CFO can say sorry, I advised him, it is his decision. No, those days are gone. His strategies have to be fully aligned with the CEO of the organization. He has to be a part and parcel of managing performance in the organization and driving the P&L. He has to develop adequate finance capability, and he has to transform the operating models. And the most important, he has to embrace digital. A modern CFO cannot think about his existence without the active support of the information system and a CIO in the organization. So, same way, the role of a CIO also gets transformed. So, coming to the topic that I've been asked to speak upon. So, what are the expectations? I've tried to put the expectations into 4 C's. So, predominantly the customer, the cost, the collaboration, and compliance. Otherwise the list would have been very long, so it was really difficult to put it into a concise kind of requirement. So that's how I have put it. So moving, customer is who knows better than the people sitting here that customer is always first. We work for the customer, and particularly the retail companies, they work more for the customer and less for anybody else. So truly speaking, if you look at the customers, the expectations of the customers from a CIO, probably they can be divided into 3 components. One are the internal customers, second is the top management of the company, and the third is the external customers. And truly speaking, the CFOs are connected with all these 3 if they are business-oriented CFOs. So, from the point of view of internal customers, we really need to implement a lot of tools today for the purpose of increasing productivity and efficiency within the organization and having a much better overall HR experience. You guys would be knowing much better about the various tools and the applications to be implemented for that purpose. But the simple examples that I can give are kind of different kinds of HR portals, different kind of employee-oriented activities, different kind of applications. By doing that, you really, if you embrace technology, you can really improve your efficiency in a big way. And I can tell you from my experience that in 2011, when Luminous was 1,100 crores company, and probably this year we would be closing closer to 3,000 crores, the year 16-17, the number of headcount in my team has not increased even by 1. So we have managed to improve the efficiency through big reliance on digitization and through a good support from the CIO. So that's the efficiency internal customer looks from the CIO in the organization. Coming to the top management, maybe I'll give you a small example. A few days ago, I was with some entrepreneur, and he says, Brij, I'm really short of time, and it happens whenever I sit for the reviews, I become a victim of the presentation which is being made by the presenter. Because, you go to the meeting unprepared, so whatever is being presented, you start asking questions out of that. That's not the right way that a top management or even at the CFO level one should be behaving in the organization. So CFOs need to be much more prepared well in advance, and that preparedness well in advance comes from the information, from the data crunching, from the tools that you have in your hand, and you keep getting the information from that tool. Just to give you a small example, though it's a very small app, but it happens that I get an update on my mobile every 10 minutes. It gets updated every 10 minutes as to how much is the total sale in the company at this moment, how much is the collection in the company at this moment, how much is the production in the company at this moment, and how much is the stock in the company at this moment. So, if you have those kind of informations already handy with you, when you walk into the meetings, you are much more prepared from a business angle rather than you enter only as a listener to the meetings. Those kind of tools and supports the CFOs today look from the CIOs. Coming to the external customers, I think everybody will vouch for it. Various kind of supports which interlink the company with the outside world, which is not the outside world, I don't mean from the point of view of communications, but from the point of view of implementation of business. Like you have a lot of portals connecting the distributors of the company with the company. You have a lot of sales order systems. You have a lot of information coming. You have a lot of warranty registration tools. You have a lot of product sales tracking and so many things. Because eventually everything in the, we are running profit-oriented organizations. We're not running charitable organizations. So all functions, I should not say all, but significantly, or most of the functions that we do are towards business generation and revenue generation for the company. And that is why, those customers are really important. And we should try and create as much as IT enablement and as much interface with those outside customers as it can help the company to improve their performance and improve their revenue. So this is how I will put it as the customer side of my expectations from the CIOs. If I move to the cost side, I think this is an easier topic. Everybody understands that cost and productivity is really very important. And when the organizations become large, what happens? Things keep happening somewhere in a corner and you are not even aware of the cost being incurred for that. So after reaching a particular size, I believe that CFOs should insist upon creating some kind of systems for all some kind of important functions in the organization so that they can focus in a big way on the cost control. The little bit example that comes to my mind is e-bidding. It might be a very medium-sized implementation, but it really helps in reducing the cost because you are enticing the other guys to e-bid for you, and you save a lot of cost in that. And I'm talking this out of my personal experience. Second most important thing, today is the time while all of us had been focusing upon digitizing the internal things, but a stage has come when people have started talking about the digital products. A lot of discussion is happening today, and even in our company also we are working on some of the digital products which are really connected. They are the connected products. The products are connected to the systems within your organization, and you can inform the customer about what is likely to happen, what is the position, what he needs to do. And there are certain products wherein our company kind of products where we know that there is a limited life cycle of the product and thereafter the customer needs the replacement. Now, if I have a connected product and I have the full information within my organization, it is really easy for me to approach that customer at the end of the life of the product and generate a repeat sale. Those are the kind of the supports that one can look from CIOs. Coming to the qualitative benefits, yes, there are plenty. If you automate your total order management process, if you automate your total sales force, in our company we call it as Salesforce automation. Now, Salesforce automation is that each and every salesperson and each and every service person in the company is connected with the company from his mobile. So, his daily sales to be reported, so much so, marketing has to do a lot of work. Now, what kind of a board has been put outside the shop of a dealer or a distributor? It is very difficult for the general manager marketing or the marketing director to go and see in a place, even good cities of India like Muzaffarnagar or Saharanpur or X or Y or Z. So how do you manage? Ask the guy to click a photograph, send it to us, we see whether it is properly aligned or not, and move forward. Very simple app, but very productive for the company to save cost. Those kind of automation tools, whether it is sales automation, it is service force automation, it is warranty registrations, it is such kind of products or such kind of applications. They are really helpful for a CFO to drive the, or for a CEO to drive the growth and profit in the organization. Collaboration. Very, very important. There should be a single version of truth in the organization. Otherwise, whatever meeting you sit in, first 10 minutes you have to really spend on, sales guy will say, no sir, my number is like this. The finance guy will say, no sir, my number is this. I took from X database, I took from Y database. I'm sorry. It has to be one uniform database from where the numbers have to come. That's one example I have given you. But the kind of the collaborations which, as a CFO, I will look forward from a CIO to deliver in the organization, I would like to spread it in 3-4 forms. One is, collaborate with various business functions. Today, whether it is sales or it is marketing or it's finance or it is HR or it is R&D or it is production, IT and technology is involved at every place. So the request is that be in touch, be proactive, go and talk to them, meet them, ask for their requirement, and that will really help you to deliver much better collaboration and much better systems and softwares in the organization. Collaboration with the business strategy is really very important. The strategy of the organization might be that we have to improve our sales by 40%. And CIO is working on certain tools on cost reduction. It will not work. So he needs to be fully aligned as to what is the plan and action of my company as of today. And I tell you, the things are changing. There was a time when there was one survey done somewhere in 2010-11. A lot of CFOs were interviewed, and they were asked about as to what is their focus, the most important focus. And the most important focus explained by almost 50% of them was cost reduction. Because 2010, 2011, there were a lot of cost pressures on the companies and on the balance sheets. But, again, the same survey was done somewhere in 2014-15. And the focus of many of them shifted from cost control to growth. Because one, they had already achieved a lot of targets on the cost control. So, they had to do the next stage. Second, the climate in the business during those periods have become much more competitive, and the companies have to really focus on growth. Otherwise, they will lose the profits. So, those kind of situations should always be at the top of the mind of the CIO, and he should be fully attached with the plans and the overall strategy of the organization, and try and develop the techniques and tools for that kind of a strategy. And then centralized database for collaborative technologies. Most important. Holding company software will not speak to the subsidiary company software. HR software will not talk to the finance software. The moment we create those kind of things, we will have the kind of discussions in the boardrooms, my data versus your data. If we have one fully integrated system, we may have 10, 15 different kind of software, that's not an issue. But all of them should be linked to one database, and it should be a collaborative database. Whether it is marketing information, it updates the same database. Whether it is the customer information, it updates the same database. Whether it is the employee information, gets connected to the same database. So, there should be one data in the organization which should speak to all the softwares, all the systems implemented in the organization. That really saves a lot of time of the organization, a lot of people which are being used to make MIS in various departments, and it gives rise to very qualitative decision making. So that's really a very important thing for improving the operative controls. Moving to the fourth C, I think this is increasingly becoming important, and more so in view of the changes that have happened to the corporate laws in the recent past. The latest Companies Act, a lot of responsibilities directly on the directors of the company, that if X compliance is not done, they have to report in the director's report. If that Y is not done, they have to report this way, that way. Compliance, it used to be fine. It was very important requirement, but it never used to get the kind of the focus that compliance has to get. So, today a stage has come when those kind of focuses are really required, and there are a lot of compliance tools or compliance softwares available within the company. You people know much better than me. I can only say as a user that it is really important, because as a CFO, it is very important for me to know at the end of the month or at the end of the quarter or at the end of the half year as to which are the compliances that have happened in my company and which are the compliances which are pending. We have also done a modest activity in that regard, and we have set up a compliance tool wherein an automated email, system-generated email goes to every process owner that this compliance you were supposed to do by such and such date, and it has not happened. And a consolidated report comes to me by every month. So that really helps us to raise our eyebrows at the right time, that what is pending where. So those things are really very important. We are, from key internal controls, I would say we are becoming more and more connected to the international world, and today a lot of businesses are being done in India by the global multinationals. Simple two internal controls: segregation of duty and chart of authority. It will be missing in many companies. And segregation of duties is such an important key internal control from the international compliances point of view that we can't live without it. But unless and until all the employees of the company, the employee data master is maintained in a much cleaner manner, the jobs and roles of all the employees are defined in a proper manner, and the chart of authority is defined in the system, probably chart of authority and segregation of duty cannot be managed. They are the only two internal controls which I have just mentioned in front of you. There are so many key internal controls of that kind which any CFO cannot implement without the support of a strong CIO. So these are really important for us. And IT compliance is, who knows better than you? The software compliance, the data integrity compliance, X compliance, Y compliance, Z compliance, so many kind of compliances, that those compliances probably fall more on your table than on a CFO's table, but they come within the overall part of the compliance calendar. So asking from me as to what should be the expectations of a CFO from CIO, probably I would like to put my expectations in these 4 buckets, 4 C's that I have put in front of you. But at this time, I think every CFO must be focused, and he must be aware CIO or technology or IT can support him only up to an extent. Apna kaam to khud karna padega. So something like I always say, the business acumen and the decision making guts, they cannot be digitized. So somewhere the expectation of a CFO has to stop. So 2 things he has to have his own. Otherwise, whatever good data, whatever good support, whatever good digitization an able and a strong CIO may give to a CFO, he will not be able to take good decisions. So those capabilities he have to have of his own. The rest of it, CIO can support him. So with this, I think I will end my presentation here saying that the CFOs need to apply 80-20 rule. So 80% is the analysis and the support to be given to them by an able CFO. 20% it is their own analysis and the decision-taking guts, which are very important. So I think with that, I will thank you very much for a patient listening to me. Thanks a lot.
Thank you so much, Mr. Nagpal. Such a brilliant session, and we love the way you answered the question by dividing the entire presentation into 4 C's. Can you tell me what the 4 C's are? Customer, cost, compliance, and of course collaborate. And we would request you to please come and collaborate with us and pull out the winner, our first winner who could walk home with a Micromax laptop. So let's, sir, if you could join us center stage. Thank you once again for sharing your insights. Wonderful presentation.
My card into this, so
So we
I
have
will
lots
not
more.
look on that side also, whichever comes into my hand.
I'd request you to read out the name, sir.
From MTS, Mr. Dinesh Kumar Sharma.
Mr. Dinesh Kumar Sharma, this is your lucky day. You are first winner here today, and you're going to go home with the smartest laptop ever. Ladies and gentlemen, that would be the Micromax Canvas 2 laptop. There you go. Let's have a big round of applause.
Hi, congratulations.
And of course, the good news is that there are many more.
It always pays to be on time. So good. Thank you.
It always pays to be on time. Absolutely, sir. Thank you so much, sir.
Thanks a lot. Thank you very much for listening.
And as I said, great news because many more